What's going on, guys? Let me tell you something right now. If you guys are looking to keep your home, skin, hair smelling fresh and clean, then you need pound for pound the best fragrance products in the world, and that is Ash Kickin'. I'm talking about everything you need to create a comfortable home living environment and create a comfortable space for entertaining. You need Ash Kickin'. Pound for pound the best incense burners in the world, home fragrance products, and health and beauty products. Go to ashkickin.com. Put in this promo code DBN317 and you'll get 10% off of all your orders. What did you think about your boy Errol Spence's performance, and how long do you think it would take for him to be ready to fight? Because they're calling you the future and they're calling him the future.
Yeah, they're calling
Or you're
yeah.
past the future.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Errol looked good. He looked sharp. You know what I mean? He got caught a little, but he wasn't with a banger. It wasn't nothing too serious, and he was definitely never on the worst end of anything. You know what I'm saying? But I give him, you know, like real, you know, logic, man. I still give him at least another year with a quarter on it. You know what I'm saying? So possibly sometime in 2017 might be when it's realist. The real interesting thing is who's going to be the first person to step to him, right?
DONTAE'S Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So that clip you guys just watched, the interview I did with Keith Thurman, that was about 2 years ago, sometime around 2015. And you see he was talking about possibly fighting Errol Spence sometime in 2017. Boy, time flies, doesn't it? Because now we are here in 2017. So after Keith Thurman dethroned Danny Garcia this past weekend, when he was asked about fighting the winner of Kell Brook versus Errol Spence, this is what he basically had to say. Quote, "Of course that's a great fight, and fighting the winner is important. But when will that fight manifest? I don't know. Do I want to see 3 world titles strapped around me? Of course I do. Do I want to see 3 world titles strapped around any of the welterweights in the welterweight division? Yes, I do. Why? Because Keith Thurman is a boxing fan, not just a boxer." End quote. Now let me just say this. There is nothing wrong with Keith Thurman wanting to take another fight. I mean, he did just come off of fighting Sean Porter and then Danny Garcia. So there's nothing wrong with him wanting to do that. Not only that, but even if he does take a fight in between facing the winner of Brook versus Spence, you know, it obviously helps build the fight even more. Matter of fact, the reports are Steven Espinoza from Showtime, he actually wants to put the winner of Spence versus Brook and Keith Thurman on the same card after we get that fight in May. So one more time, it's absolutely nothing wrong with Keith Thurman wanting to face someone else other than Errol Spence in his very next fight. But with that all being said, it still begs the question, what does this say about Errol Spence? Because while Keith Thurman is saying he doesn't want that fight right away, Errol Spence is saying the opposite. He's saying, I do want the fight right away. He just did an interview with Fight Hype, and that's exactly what he said. He said, I'm hoping that after I beat Kell Brook, I get Keith Thurman right away. I mean, what does this really say about Errol Spence, right? What does it say about him? Once again, there's nothing wrong with Keith Thurman wanting to face someone else, maybe facing his mandatory, because there's talks maybe he'll fight Lamont Peterson, which is a good fight. But once again, what does this say about Errol Spence when Errol Spence is not asking for a softer touch in between fights? He wants to go from monster to monster, right? I mean, it's something that you seldomly see in the sport of boxing today. A fighter who wants to fight all of the toughest challenges back to back to back. This is something we don't see too often. And if it wasn't for Errol Spence being on a coincidental list, you would see this man get praise like no other fighter today. Because if you think about it and you look at the package that Errol Spence comes in, you have a fighter that gets vicious knockouts, is always coming forward, and he wants to fight the best competition available. the best competition in a stacked division. It's not like Errol Spence is in the middleweight division where there's not a whole lot of competition. Errol Spence is in one of the most deepest divisions in the sport of boxing, and he wants to face all of the toughest opposition in that division. That says a lot about Errol Spence. But once again, we're going to know a whole lot more about Errol Spence after the Kell Brook fight. So that's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
This is Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.